right, welcome back to Definitely Not a Podcast, where we listen to people's stories and hear whatever they want to talk about. We have our guest today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, my name is Blake.
What's our
What do you-
relationship?
so you're my sister, and yeah, we got a 16-year age gap,
Yeah,
and I think we want to talk more about common interests, life, maybe. I don't know.
I think all
What
of
do
the
you think?
above.
Okay.
We have. It's funny because you are 16 years older than me, but in my eyes, you've always been like double my age.
Well, kinda, a little bit.
I guess in the last couple of years, you have been.
Uh-huh.
And it's not a bad thing. It's just that because you're so much older than me, I don't know anything about you. And we haven't like hung out on our own that many times other than like holidays, you know?
Family
So
stuff.
I don't, yeah, family stuff. I don't know anything about you, is why
Okay.
we're here today.
Good.
And we're gonna learn more about each other.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Let's do
So what's been going on in your life? I'll start out a little bit of small talk.
it. Okay, so this past weekend, so I'm getting married, obviously, in a few months. So you're in my fiance's wedding party, and I have a wedding party of all of our brothers, and then a few of my friends, and we went and got my suit this weekend, and we had some emotional things happen. Two of the people in our group, their girlfriends broke up with them last week.
Oh, she broke up with
Holy
him.
cow, man.
Cause
I had some emotional dudes in my house this weekend,
yeah.
and they just all kind of like lived in my house. It was cool. It was good for everybody, I think. But it was an exhausting weekend. Lots of whiskey, things like that. But
They all stayed with you in your
yeah,
house?
yeah. Well, pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Our brothers that were there, they stayed with me. One just picked up his dog. Carson just picked up his dog and left this afternoon. He went to work and came
Yeah.
back and got his dog.
Wow.
So yeah, it was exciting. I'm doing good. I had, had a great time. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. Normal work stuff. That's most of my life right now, is just getting ready for a wedding. I'm super pumped because I don't have like a bridezilla type situation. But you've kind of like done
Experience?
stuff with her so far. Have you got like dresses picked out and stuff like that?
I haven't done anything with the bridal party. I don't
No.
even know who's in it. I'm in the group chat. Immediately, I mute them.
Really?
Immediately.
You're not interested in that kind of thing?
I'm just not interested in group chats.
Okay.
The
Well,
second,
I feel like Emily would love it if you were a part of that kind of stuff.
I agree. I think it would be good for us.
Yeah.
But it's just hard because this is just the hard thing with weddings in general, is that like women are usually on the bride side, right? Men are
Mhm.
typically on the men's side. And it's like, I don't have any quarrel with your fiance or anything, but I don't know anyone on her side. And
Yeah.
she has a lot of sisters.
She does.
And yeah, so for me, it's like, okay, I'm not opposed to doing stuff with them. I'm just like, it's hard for me to think about going out of my way to do stuff with them when it's a group of people I don't know.
I get that. That's kind of what's happening with all of my friends. A lot of them have met each other, but some of them haven't met each other, and I'm trying to get them together. And I got one friend that's like not doing a great job of. He's just got stuff going on in his life, but just want to get all my friends together. If you want to come bro down and hang out with the guys, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you want. Her wedding party is her sisters and one of her friends, and then my other half sister, Lexi. Have you met Lexi before?
Probably not.
No? Well, you'd know if you met Lexi, probably.
Well, I'm like, even for our brother Carson's wedding,
Huh.
I don't
you
recall
probably-
her
you probably-
being
she
there,
was
but
there.
I'm sure she was there.
I'm pretty sure she was there, right? Yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't
You
think-
were pretty young then, though, too, weren't you? You weren't even in high school yet.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I do not recall, but no, I don't think I would remember. if
But
we did.
anyway, just talking about that.
She had a lot of stuff with her that I didn't even know of. Like, I didn't realize. I thought she had a kid, but it was her husband's kid.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that
Stepdaughter.
that wasn't her
Hmm.
kid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird how like your life is so important and you don't realize that there's how many billions of people that have just as important of a life as you and they're like basically related to you, you know, and they do all the same hours of the day that you do and um
Literally us right now.
yeah.
I don't know what you do in a
Hey
day.
man, I've been seeing you a lot lately and it's been nice.
I don't know about seeing you a lot. Seen your dogs more than I've seen you.
Yeah, but I still see you. I still see you a lot more than we have in the past,
That's
which I
true.
really appreciate.
I think it's just because I'm an adult and I can do things now. And we can start getting into that. But I think for me, it's hard because I've wanted to be an adult like my whole life.
Hmm.
I did not like growing up with our parents. And at least in the sense of like not being able to do what I want. And it was very difficult. I'm already tearing up. Like being with our mom and then with our dad too. It was like that was the hardest thing for me personally growing up.
Hmm.
And like I don't know how that entire thing was for you, but for me, I could not reach out to. At least I didn't feel like I could reach out to you guys because you were so like far away.
Yeah, I mean, I think I moved out when you were 3, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. And that was a big time of my life to figure myself out. I was 19 when I moved out, and um, yeah, I mean, you and Ian, I probably didn't connect with you guys a lot. I didn't connect with even Davis and Lexi. I didn't connect with until later in life. We spent a lot of time, me and Carson, with Lexi, but she's older. You know,
Yeah.
she's older than Davis, so we got to. That's a big age gap.
Yeah, it is.
And I totally understand what you're going through because you went through a lot less normal of a time of life than I did. I mean, I've had a lot of ups and downs with family stuff, but you got nailed with a pretty significant one when you were probably coming of age.
I still feel like I'm going through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's not done. Might never
No.
be done, but
Literally, dad called me like a couple days ago, and like every time he calls me, I just get very anxious. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you right now, but I'll humor you because I know that you appreciate it.
that's that's grown up of you. I have kind of a different. I haven't talked to him in a while, and I get that same feeling. I get that same feeling. And if he ever sees this, that's one thing that really stresses me out is we're talking about this, which I'm happy to.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely is one of those guys that really stressed me out in life.
That's another thing too, is I think like it's weird because I'm the only like sister out of four brothers, and
Mm.
you guys are all older than me too. So it feels like I could be alienated from a lot of the things that you guys do at times.
Okay.
Like I had no idea that you had problems with dad
Yeah.
until I mean, whatever that whole situation was, and that was a recent thing, but I mean I get it. I do.
Yeah. The most recent thing reminded me of times before, and I think that's what kind of triggered me. It was the exact same feeling that came back from whatever, however many years ago that was. Um, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I haven't always had an issue with him, but and the thing about him and the thing about my stepmom, I've always thought of them, and I can probably say this for Carson too. Like they're our step parents, but we've always thought of them as parents because they've put as much work into our lives as our birth parents, you know. So I always wanted to make sure that everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's tough because I did move out probably when things like shit really hit the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about those things
I don't even know what those things
to
are.
specify. Like mom's had a obviously really severe drinking problem that led to her death, and I think that really messed with dad and our dad, and made him make some questionable decisions after he'd done really well in life. Mom did really well in life up to that point. And then we tried and tried and tried to help her. Um, we've had, at least the siblings. I haven't had a ton of talks with dad about it, but I feel like everybody kind of did their due diligence to try to help mom out. But you have to live your life too. You know, you can't just sit there and give your whole life to somebody
Yeah.
and not have a life too. I think that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Um,
It's hard. I remember even not necessarily in the aftermath of it, but like even when it was ongoing and our stepmom moved in with dad
mhm.
and a lot of things changed for me because I have a lot of issues with her and there was just things like I would call you occasionally because I'm like I have no one
And
to
that's the
talk
part
to.
that I didn't see. So,
Yeah.
um,
I mean, to be fair,
yeah,
no one did. Out of all of our siblings, like
yeah.
they all
What about Ian?
he wasn't there. He
Not
was
really.
working the whole time. Even if he wasn't, he was I mean, out with friends, living his life. He was, junior, senior, high school at that time. So even when I was at that age, I did not want to be at home. I just didn't have a lot of friends. And it was harder for me because we moved to Florida. So
Yeah.
that was kind of an even bigger barrier for me to overcome, I
Mhm.
think. But
How old were you when that happened?
when I moved,
When they moved to Florida, when you guys moved to
I
Florida.
think I was 16, 17.
Okay.
So that was very difficult because I moved
Yeah, dude.
halfway through my junior year, sophomore year of high school.
Was that hard?
Yeah.
Pretty hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. That's kind of like,
How was your
I don't
life
even
in
know what to.
Florida?
I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
Kind
Maybe
of.
make friends and stuff, or
No.
not a lot? No.
I wish. That was
Yeah.
like the one thing I really wanted is that it's like, well, I'm at a new school and I'm at a much bigger school. So
Hmm.
hopefully I can meet more people and things would be different, but it wasn't.
It's hard at that age, I think, because people have already had established friends. I mean, I had friends from middle school, and then a lot of my friends were made freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
Um, like a good portion of them. I know you kind of evolve through high school, but that's like
Yeah.
when you got your friends, you stay in your group, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I can imagine that'd be tough for you.
Sorry, do you guys have tissues? Crying.
uh, yeah, well, um, I figured that this might be part of what the talk would be, is
Yeah.
unpack some baggage, which is cool.
Sorry, I need a
Um, you're not ugly.
Oh, I have to ugly blue windows.
Check it out, everybody. Watch the boogers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
Don't
god.
edit it. Leave it in there. Zoom in on the boogers. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. We didn't even get to the questions. All right.
Yeah, we can get to the
So,
questions.
do you ever feel like you were treated differently than me? How so?
Differently than you?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a big question. I yeah, probably, but I like we were talking about, I didn't really see how you were treated, you know? Um I did see that, and I think this is kind of common among a lot of families. The reins were pretty tight on me, I think. As far as when you're a parent, your first kid is like, we don't want them to screw up, and then they see that I survived, so the next kid, they're just like, okay, we can let them out a little more, and by the third kid, they're like, they won't die, so whatever, it's fine. And I think that's kind of how it went. You, on the other hand, are the first girl, so that might have changed a lot of stuff. um and the situation was very different as far as like the scope of what our family looked like. um I think we all had very different personalities, very different personalities. um so it's kind of hard to, I don't know. I really wish I had an answer for you. I didn't see that whole lot.
Yeah.
um but you did I mean, how many years did you how long did you live with mom after dad was not with mom anymore?
I have no idea.
Like, did you do a lot of like back and forth? I don't know.
I don't know either. A lot of it is kind of like blocked off of my mind. I
That's
could give
probably the
you,
most traumatizing
yeah,
time of your life, I think.
like how many years? I have no idea. I don't even know when it started, because I feel like it was for me like end of elementary school and then like through midway high school.
Yeah.
Honestly,
So it was a long block.
yeah.
Um, that's probably like when I was in college time.
I don't know. That's another thing. That's funny. I feel like you've been in college your whole life.
We need to. I did spend a little extra time in college.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, never was a good student, and I just like had to force myself to get it done. Not you, like double efficient student. Um, that was my biggest letdown. I think for the parents was I was just shitty at school.
I think I just wanted to be that way though, because I didn't want to be at home anymore. Like I tried getting a job. I had a job when I
I
was
think you were the youngest sibling to get a job.
baby. I don't think I was 14 because you can't legally get a job, but at that age I wanted to be emancipated.
Yeah,
I couldn't get emancipated because I didn't have a job.
yeah,
And I you have to get parents' signature to do that.
right.
Obviously they were not gonna, let that happen. But I tried getting a job. I worked at a gift shop when I was like 15.
Hmm.
Worked pretty much ever since.
Yeah, I mean, I had to fight mom to move out at 19. She's like, "Nah, there's no way you're ready." I'm like, "Dude, I'm ready. I'm ready." And yeah, so I can see how that would have been tough.
That's so
She
funny.
was always kind of like "Don't give me grandkids. I'm too young for grandkids. Don't go out and screw up. Do that." And now, like, got to see grandkids, I guess. But um, yeah, I feel like she was restrictive with some things, and then she wasn't with other things. Dad was always very when I was growing up. Um, he's kind of like old school with family values. Like he would always want to come home and um, like we'd have dinner together, kind of thing, which is a thing that doesn't happen with a lot of people anymore, I don't think. Um, and I don't know where he was with his career when you're older, but he worked a lot and he was out of town a lot. It'd be like there were certain points where he was like every other week he was out. So we had an interesting relationship. He traveled a lot. Um, but then business went well for him and we did really well for a while. And then things kind of went awry. And that's when divorce happened and how he's doing now. But um, that was right when you were kind of coming of age, you know?
It's
Um,
just so
we were
crazy to
probably
me.
like like the years we adopted you versus the year like you're growing up. That was probably the peak financial for the family, and life was going really good. And then yeah, I think mom took a toll on everybody. You know, she tried too. She tried. I think everybody tried. So it's traumatizing, but I think he didn't. There was a lot of work put in to really try. Um, I think there's a few people that could probably give you some other perspective too. If I could shout them out, I don't know if Aunt Marilyn would ever give you a podcast time,
I
but
want to. I
she
want to
would.
hear her on the
She
pod.
every time I see her, I really want to like pick her brain about how life was because I block a lot of stuff out too. I think and I'm like I don't remember how was that. How did that go?
We all forgot.
Yeah,
Like literally,
yeah. Just repress it.
this is just the weird family thing. None of us talk about it. Like none of us have ever sat down and talked about it. Especially not as a family, not
We've
even.
tried to pick it out, and
Yeah,
everybody has kind of a biased perspective.
it's true.
So the things that I saw are the things that you saw. And I feel like I've tried to have that conversation with dad a little bit. We have. And I mean, he only saw half my life too, because I would go over to my other side and be over there a lot too. Um, so I got really growing up. I got really close with Carson. Me and Carson spent a lot of time together.
You guys still spend so much time together.
Well, that's because we trust each other. You know, like he's kind of a part of me. Like we're kind of like the same person. Not really, but like we shared our whole childhood together. And I can't say that about anybody else really. Um, Because like even Lexi, we spent a lot of time with Lexi, but we only didn't see her during the week. We didn't go to school together with her. We didn't run through 3 feet of snow to go catch the bus when we missed the bus down a mountain. That was all me and Carson stuff. Making bad choices together. We were teenagers together. Stuff like that.
Wow.
And still, it continues.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Um, what's one lesson from our childhood that shaped you into who you are today?
Um, Lesson. Like something that somebody taught me,
Whatever you learned, I
or
guess.
like something I screwed up, and I was like, don't do that again. I have a lot of those. Um, I guess one thing that I always tried to abide by, like that I actually learned from Neil was, he always had this big thing about just do what you say you're gonna do in life. If you're gonna buck up and say you're gonna do it, always do it. And I found that's something that really helped me in life is don't say you're gonna do something and then bail. Not talking
Who
about
shall
anybody.
not be named?
Um, that was a good just advice that I got. I wish I got more advice. I wish I got more. I think our parents always kind of would. They're like you got talents. You're smart. You can figure stuff out. But their advice to me was always like, you just never apply yourself. You need to apply yourself. And I was like, what the hell does that even mean?
Literally the advice I'd get too.
Yeah. So that's one that I was like, man, I wish you would have given me more specific. Like maybe you should go invest in the stock market or something. Which nobody really is sound advice on that. By the way, I don't think. Um, but I wish we had more of that.
Yeah,
That's kind of backwards from your question, but
it's okay.
I wish that we would have had more of that.
No, I
Like
agree.
this, here's how you do. I think you didn't get enough of that, and I think Ian didn't get enough of that. Ian's figuring it out, and I think you're figuring it out. But that maybe that's one thing that we were kind of treated a little bit different on is like maybe not. Our parents, I think, had this whole thing of like we're really gonna let them try to figure out their own path. That's why they didn't push a lot of religion on us. I don't know about you 100%, but I wasn't. That was like a big thing for mom and dad when I was growing up. They wouldn't push religion on us. And so naturally, I had no relationship with religion at
Yeah,
all. And then now I guess I kind of did figure out what I believe in. I don't know if I want to talk about that right now, but maybe another podcast. But um, I wish that they would have given us more. Here's something that I know works advice, you know?
yeah, I get what you mean. I think for me, I was mostly the same way, at least on the religious aspect. But that wasn't until I moved to Florida that dad really started pushing religion on me. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
we kind
dog,
of switched up. He has
I
a different wife.
I know. I'm like,
So
dog,
maybe that's part of the agreement he had with mom.
it
Um,
definitely was. I remember
he,
talking to grandma and her
yeah,
aunt about that.
yeah. Oh, and that's another person that might give you some good perspective on what she saw. Because I mean, when mom was having a hard time, she was actually there a lot too, helping her out. I don't know if you remember that.
Vaguely.
Both her and Aunt Marilyn were there a lot. Mom had a few friends that really, couple, that really tried to help her out when she was having a hard time, and she came in waves. She was doing good, sometimes she's not doing good. Um, yeah, but yeah,
To circle
Judy.
back, though, I think with the lesson thing, I think when you say like they hadn't taught us a lot of lessons other than kind of figure it out yourself.
Hmm.
Um, there's just not a lot there's not a lot I know about our parents. Like, I remember when mom died and like we all went to Utah for Christmas
Hmm.
to stay with our family. Like, we were at lunch and we were talking about it, and
Like
I
the
was
one
like,
that I was there.
I don't think, maybe you were there,
I was I was at one. I think it was the first Christmas without mom.
maybe. But we were talking about, her life, and I'm like, I literally don't know anything about her. I don't
Hmm.
remember where she grew up. I don't remember where she was born.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how am I going to answer these security questions for the bank if because I don't know these answers?
Yeah.
Even her maiden name, I'm like, I don't know how to
Yeah.
spell that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I didn't really talk a lot about it. Mom always had like her her like generic stories about she went to Pomona High School, by the way. Um, but just generic stories about growing up with her in Maryland and getting chased down the street by kids. I don't think they were super well off. Maybe good enough. I don't know. Like I don't even know.
Yeah.
She didn't go into it a lot. I think she got married to my dad pretty young. She had me in her 20s. Sure. Well, yes, for sure in her 20s. They got divorced when I was like 4. Do you know all the stories about that stuff?
Vaguely.
You want to know the stories about that stuff?
I just don't know.
Because I don't know everything about it, but I've pieced a lot of things together, and
But
everybody kind of has a different perspective on it.
that's what I
So,
mean, though. It's a lot of piecing things together. I
mhm,
remember going through her photo album a lot as a kid, and I'm
mhm.
like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know what this is. I don't
Yeah,
know where you are.
yeah.
There was a lot of things, like a lot of weird things about mom that I remember. Like when I eat with a fork, right? Like you need the prongs, like when it's bent, right? That like bent side needs to be up because it's ladylike, and you can't like
What an
cut a
obscure
steak
thing.
and then like eat it. She was mad at me when I did that.
um, I know. Interesting.
Dude, it's shit like
You
that.
know, well, that is another thing though. That's another thing that actually I think comes from dad too. Is he had a view in his mind of like things that are proper and like etiquette and stuff, and I think that just came from his upbringing. Um, I don't know about mom. I don't know. She always seemed pretty relaxed about stuff to me.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I've heard things that she was very she's like strong but stern a lot. Um, oh, yeah, I've repressed some things too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Um, let me see. What's one thing you hope we keep doing as siblings as we get older?
Um, so literally what we're doing right now. I think we've picked up the pace on how much we're hanging out. We do want to hang out with you more. I feel like my opinion is maybe you feel like an outcast, but we don't feel like you're an outcast in our mind. Because I mean, we do ask you to hang out a lot. Same thing with other siblings. Sometimes people got stuff to do. Um, but sometimes if you don't want to do it, sometimes you show up and you do it. And it's kind of how I felt about this. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
um, you know, putting something out there in the world that this is deep family, deep feeling stuff. So, um, but I wanted to be here for you and do this.
What did you think this podcast was when I initially told you about it?
Shoot, I figured we'd talk about this stuff. Um, but you also told me that we could be talking about zombies too.
Yeah, we can talk about zombies.
Let's talk. Let's keep talking about what we're talking about. I feel like this is good.
Okay.
We're on a good train of thought.
Um,
Oh, and to complete the question, like hang out with us more. Hang out with everybody. I know we don't get to see Ian a lot either,
true.
but hopefully we can make time. Like I got to see Ian and really spend real time with him one time last year. We went camping together and we had to drive freaking 3 hours to see him.
Wow.
So we can do stuff like that. Um, build you a nice tent if you want.
Camping.
You don't have to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You just come suck it up. It might be fun.
It might be.
It might be fun.
It just might be.
I want to come camping.
Okay.
That's okay. I'll come do your stuff then. I'll
Yeah,
come do
you
your
can
stuff.
come to the house I'm living at.
Yeah.
You can have a
Yeah.
brisket.
Yeah.
Um, have you been able to forgive our parents, or do you still struggle with certain aspects?
I definitely forgive our parents. Um, I'm I've been thinking about calling dad for I really he triggered me pretty bad with this last thing that he did, and I literally blocked him in my phone because I just didn't want to deal with it at the time. And honestly, I knew that it was an issue for him because he can't do what he was doing and have a good mental state. I don't know how much you know about that, but
I do. Do
I don't know if he
you?
talked to you about the conversation that he had with me. I haven't talked to anybody about it because I don't think it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to see him in like a negative light because I don't think he deserves to be seen in a negative light because of what he said to me. Because I don't think he actually meant to say what he said to me in the way that he said it to me. So like I really mom, I forgave mom before she died. Because I know that a lot of that stuff is people have addiction problems and she just got away. Um but dad, I think about calling him every day and that's probably the biggest stress in my life right now. Is talking to him and I just need to pull the band-aid off and just give him a call. Just tell him, love you. Everything's fine. Because like we invited him to our wedding and he knows we talked to Mindy about it. Um so
Literally same. He is one of the biggest stresses of my life.
yeah. So
But he's in. He
he's the
went to rehab.
yeah, no. He just really wants
Yeah.
to help. He always wants so I think part of his issue is whoever listens to this, hopefully he doesn't get mad at me for it, but I think his thing is he always wants to make sure that everybody in his life is taken care of and he puts everybody else's things before his things. So he might just need to circle back around, focus on his things first for once because we're grown-ups now. I know he's got younger kids to take care of still, but us, we're figuring it out. We're doing it right now. So, but yes, I forgive them.
Yeah. Real.
Yes.
I think he's doing better. He is in rehab. He's very happy to share that with people. Um. Yeah. I mean, I hope he continues to go down that path and you know help himself out.
Ditto. I agree with
Yeah.
you.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about? I don't have that many questions.
Shoot. Well, you asked some tough ones because like I feel like you're trying to ask me about things about your life, sort of.
Sort of.
We got time.
Sorry. I just want to make sure that we do have time.
We got lots of
Okay.
time. I feel like you're asking me some questions about your life that I could put some light on, and I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Like I really wasn't around a lot for your growing up.
I mean, I feel like in my head, no one was.
Yeah.
And it's just hard because it was literally like, I need someone to talk to about this right now. And I
Mhm.
literally have no one. So honestly, I still feel that way sometimes. And that's why I called you and I'm like, hey, how do we do this?
Yeah. I love that
Yeah.
you do that, by the way.
That I call you.
Yeah, it makes me feel like the biggest brother. It
Yeah.
makes me feel so good
I'm
whenever you
like,
call me.
I literally do
I,
not like,
I hope I
I
make you
don't
feel a little bit better whenever you're having those panic moments in life because it happens to everybody. You're not like a
yeah,
weird guy or anything, you know. So, um, yeah, I hope it helps. Always call me.
real.
Yeah, do what we can. Like what we talked about last time. Like I like to think that you feel the same way, but like worst thing that could ever happen to you is you end up living on my couch, right?
I just want to be okay in this life. And I want to have a job that I like. And I work at a
And you
donut
will
shop.
because you're still very young, and you'll be fine. You'll be
Dog.
fine because you want to know something. I had those exact same feelings when I was your age.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people do. Like things are not okay, and then you see other people, and you're like they're doing so great, and maybe they're just showing you, they're only just showing you the things that are great. You don't see all the BS that everybody deals
Well,
with.
that's the thing, right? If my siblings told me your 20s are gonna fucking suck, I would be
I
so
couldn't have
much
told
more
you
well
that.
equipped.
I couldn't have told
No,
you
that's the
that.
thing. No one told me that. And
Yeah,
that's what the issue is.
yeah.
Is that like I went through college and I'm like, yo, I have a degree.
Uh
I'm
huh.
gonna get a job. I'm
Yep.
gonna make money. I'm gonna be able to do things that I want.
That's also a generational problem too. I did expect like so I used to like in college I'd blow money and before college so I didn't go to college for a while. I didn't go to college till my late 20s or mid 20s And I just kind of worked, and I would blow money, and I'd rack up credit cards. And I was like, once I get done with college, I'll be getting money to pay off these credit cards. Guess what happened? Not that. And finally, it's kind of starting to work itself out. But I'm in my mid 30s now, and that's how long it took. But I figure I'm probably at half life, so I got a lot of time now that I got it figured out. I think as long as crazy stuff will happen, but
That's insane
um,
to me. It happened on my way down here. My check engine light came on, and I'm like, how am I
yeah,
even going to pay for that
yeah,
when I have a job that gets me 1,400 a month?
yeah.
And no one can live on that right now.
I know,
I can't live on that.
I
So
know.
you're telling me I have to wait till my 30s
Well,
until that resolves
I'm just
itself.
saying that that's what happened to me. You might figure out something quick and make it work, or it might be tough. And I feel like you're not alone. I think that's not an uncommon.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I know that's part of life.
I'm just gonna
That's
live in credit card debt. Is that how this is
I
gonna go?
think it's most people are like that. Yeah, but the fact that you're thinking about it now, I think, is says something about you that you're concerned about it now. Because I definitely wasn't. I was doing the opposite. I
You were
was like,
just
I'll figure it out later.
no.
If
I'm
you can figure
like,
it out now,
I want to
that's
figure it out
good.
now.
Yeah,
I'm like, how am I gonna make
I think
money?
you're smart for that.
How am I gonna get a good paying job?
I have faith in you. You'll be okay.
I appreciate it. I just need that to be sooner.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, sure, things will
Hey,
work out in the end. I need it to work out now.
nobody wants the stress.
No.
I think you'll be okay.
Okay.
Um, I'm literally giving you the exact advice that I said that I didn't like. I think. Am I right? Yeah. Um, well, maybe you could come over and talk with me and Emily, and we can talk about like finance stuff if you want, because she's like really the one that pushes me to. Well, we push each other because now she started doing the credit card miles hacking thing for flights, and we got like a ton of miles, but now she's got like 50 credit cards, and I'm like, well, hopefully we're paying attention to all these credit cards, so
Hmm.
I think it's okay. But um, yeah, if you want more specific advice, I'm gonna try to give you what I can. If you want,
Okay. We can
not on
make
the
it.
internet though.
We can do that another time.
Okay,
Yeah.
somebody will be like, this guy's giving her whack advice.
Maybe.
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 So you should probably get like a second opinion too after you talk to me.
Where am I gonna get a second opinion from another brother?
Yeah, maybe another brother. I don't know.
Oh,
Somebody that you respect.
yeah.
Yeah. Somebody I always
Um.
think that like if you see somebody and you're like that person's got it figured out, maybe you should talk to them. And maybe they can give you advice. Maybe they'll tell you the same thing that I just told you. Good luck until you're in your mid 30s.
Does anyone have it figured out?
I think the suffering is kind of part of what makes you a better person. That's how you learn.
I don't want to be a better person. I just want to be financially stable.
You don't want the stress. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think
Excuse me.
stress makes me a good person.
Well, you're not going to get away from it.
Sadly.
You just have to figure out ways to mitigate it.
Yeah.
Work out, go do some art stuff, do this. This helps you. Talk to people. Those are the things that people tell me work for them. I like to play sports. Helps me. I got into golf. I like golf. But the real thing that gets me is I play softball on Friday nights, and those guys are a bunch of knuckleheads, but we just like it's a time where I don't look at my phone for like 4 hours. I hang out with people, we just talk about life. We do sort of athletic things while drinking beers. So there's like social something. So maybe if you found a community like that, that might be helpful too. Find some people that are interested in the same things that you're interested in.
I don't know where to find a community.
I feel like you're being negative. I think you can find a community because you're not like a weird person. You're a normal person.
Yeah, one would think. But then I'm like,
Hmm.
all right, I go online. I'm like, how do I find community? They're like, okay, just go do things that you enjoy. And I'm like, well,
Uh-huh.
the things I enjoy don't involve other people. I go to the movies like
Fair enough.
3 times
Okay.
a week
Are there like movie groups maybe? Um no,
That's
people
not a
don't get together
thing.
and talk about movies.
To
We
talk
talk
about
about
movies?
movies.
Yeah, we don't meet up and talk about movies.
You just go on like forums and stuff and talk about movies, and people just say whack, crazy stuff.
I mean, honestly, I am still on a Discord with my friends, and that's just where we talk about movies.
Yeah,
But like, that's not.
that's still a community.
It is. It's just not in person, and I'd
Yeah.
rather like have people over for dinner,
Hmm.
like, and then we watch a movie or
Those kind of
whatever.
people live in
You know?
different places,
Yeah,
not close to here, and like who knows what kind of people they are in real life, right?
yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, that's tough. I'll bet you could find something that's like that. That's like an in person type thing. You just the scary part is actually meeting those people in real life, and then you're like, this person weird, or but you'll find out that day. Um, yeah, I but that's why sports have been a real thing for me, and I always make sure that I've played with a lot of different people, um, and like every year there's new people that come on the team because we just need people. So I get a little bit different life perspective talking to people. Sometimes they become good friends. Sometimes we play the season and I never talk to them again. So just I kind of know how to leverage my expectations with those kind of people. I don't go in there thinking I'm gonna find my best friend here. Um, so going with the flow, but putting yourself in a good situation. We used to just go to the bars and try to meet people. Well, when I was trying to, like, my whole life goal was finding a girl. Um, that's all me and my buddy Ryan were always going to the bar. Never worked out, by the way.
And I was gonna say,
Um,
I don't think you would met your
nah,
fiance at a bar.
nah. Well, I didn't meet mine. Yeah, definitely tried, but didn't work out. Um, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people meet people through work. Um, that's how I met my wife through work. And some of my best friends through work. Just get lucky. It's time, man. It's time.
Time.
It's time. I can have it all right now.
I certainly tried.
Yeah. Well, you're talking like you failed. Like it's like a thing that you just don't get to stop.
Yeah,
Yeah. Gotta keep trying.
you do.
Yeah. Well, what other is that good enough advice?
Yeah, keep trying.
Keep trying. Or find a group. Um, there's a lot of people out there that there's literally social groups. I like everything that I know is based around sports, but I know that there's other stuff. So you know, you're on the computer anyway. Do a little research. I guarantee you can find something. Just try. Pay $30 or whatever to go do a thing with some people. You might like one. That's
So
my
true.
smidge of advice. That's all I got really. Or get lucky and meet people at work.
Yeah.
Or we can hang
Or,
out.
or we can hang out.
Yeah. I spend more time hanging out with family than anybody else, really.
I mean, your family are like your built-in best friends.
That was
Yeah.
one good piece of advice for my stepmom growing up because we would whenever we would go to our dad's house, we had a lot of friends because they live in Arvada, and we would go over there. My dad was he worked at a car or he still works at a car dealership, but he was a car salesman at the time. He would work like all day and through the night because he's just like working on commission. He's just got to sell stuff. If he doesn't sell anything, he sticks around until he sells stuff. That's how he makes money. And so he was like gone most Saturdays, and we wanted to go hang out with our friends. We had good friends, and then on Sunday we got greedy. We wanted to go hang out with our friends on Sunday, and Arlene was like, "You need to hang out with your dad because when all of your friends are gone, and by the way, they are all gone. Like I don't really have any of those friends anymore. You still have your family, so try to put into to the good relationships you have with your family. Not everybody's like that. I have a lot of friends that only have friends and they don't have family anymore. When you find something good, put what you can into it. Try to keep that alive, but not if it's toxic. You know,
Yeah.
they stress you out. You can kind of get
Keep
rid of
them at
them.
an arm's length, but they're
Yeah,
still family.
family's tough.
It is. We know that.
Yep, yep.
But it, mm, I don't know. I think too, like, even on this podcast, the people I've talked to are pretty much all family. I had my boss on.
Yeah.
Who else did I have?
Can you say who you talked to?
I had, okay, I had my boss. I had a coworker. I had my boyfriend's mom.
Mm-hmm.
You.
Okay.
That's everyone.
It's a good start. So it sounds like you like your Darren's family.
Yeah, they are very supportive.
That's good.
Yeah.
That makes me really happy. Because that's kind of how it branches off, right? That's how I am with my wife's family. It's not like a replacement family. It's just a more family.
Yeah, seriously.
You'll see. You'll see in a couple months. A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people. And maybe that can be some of the people that you find common ground with too. That's what I'm hoping for. That's why I think you should go hang out with those girls. Even if you don't want to.
I don't even know when the next thing is.
Well, whatever it is, go hang out with them.
Yeah.
Go do it. Emily said she's making flowers. They're doing the flowers, like the bouquets.
Bouquets, yeah.
Definitely do that because I feel like that's up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Artsy nerd. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see what else. I don't know. I have like a million questions.
You want to talk about something that's not family and trauma?
Sure.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about?
You tell me. I already told you my favorite zombie movie is, well, it's either 28 Days Later or Dawn of the Dead. That's what made me like zombies. It's Dawn of the Dead. And then I just watched like every single Walking Dead show ever.
Are you still watching them?
Yeah. They just keep like crapping them out. Yeah. And is it really good? Maybe not at this point. I don't know. Still like, it's not even about zombies anymore. Yeah. It's just like about people, characters.
They were always about people.
Dead people. Undead people.
No, they were never about the zombies. They were always about
the but that's the exciting part that I like when like the day the zombies show up, everybody's freaking out.
Well,
I have the fantasy and I'm like, I would make it out of that.
Okay.
I would.
We've talked about this with our other family, with our cousins.
But then after that, then life goes back to boring again and you just have zombies around.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Not until you get the psychopaths.
And then crazy people try to take over the world, which happens anyway.
I guess not psychopaths, sociopaths, because they're the ones trying to take over the world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, what if that would become you?
What's do you have like a horror genre? What's your favorite horror genre?
I don't know. I dabble in a lot of horror.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Especially Halloween. I watch one horror movie every day in October.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can even find my list on this, or if I have to use my phone.
So you're saying you don't like horror that much?
No, I do.
What do you like?
What do I like?
Yeah, what do you like?
What movies do I like?
Because I feel like you have a different perspective on movies than I do. I'm like one of those just entertain me kind of people, and you see like cinematography and things like that, and you care about that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's kind of funny because when I'm talking with my film friends, they are the kind of people that see all that. Mm-hmm. I just watch the movie like the same way you do. I just watch movies.
If it makes you happy, it's a good movie.
Because that's the thing about movies. I could go my entire life watching only good movies and never watch the same movie twice.
Yeah.
So
you're not hard to please.
I mean, not necessarily. No, I just watch whatever some of the most like popular movies are, which is Hitchcock.
But they're usually like good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why people watch them.
Exactly.
The blockbuster kind of movies.
But people do not like watching black and white movies. So
yeah,
that's one thing. The other thing is a lot of people don't even go to the theaters anymore.
I know.
It
makes me sad.
We saw Furiosa together. Mm-hmm. We're going to go see the new 28 years after. We'll see that.
Yeah.
And then what else? I don't even know.
I mean, I go see any movie with you. I prefer to just see like action movies in theaters because if you're going to have all those speakers and that big ass screen, I want to see some explosions.
I think you should just watch any movie in theaters.
Oh man, you get the buddy comedy kind of movies that like I could just watch that.
It's a dying industry, Blake. We need to go to the theaters.
support the theaters, everybody. I agree with you. I used to go see like we would always me and my friends probably early 20s, teens, we would go see a movie in the theaters like no matter what once a week. And then people just got scared of germs and stuff and they just don't want to go to movies.
Yeah.
And then I guess also people got the internet and you can have anything you want right now. Like there's movies that come out and you can get them in your house like that week, right?
Yeah.
I can just stream brand new movies that come out. They don't even go to theaters.
Yeah.
That's what's killing it.
You gotta just
It's
go to
gotta
the
be.
theaters. It's
Yeah.
just that's
Yeah.
kind of my thing,
Yeah.
like how you were talking about with sports, where you put your phone down
Mhm.
for a couple hours, just
Yeah.
play the sport, let's be at movies. And then when people are on their phones, I'm like, get off your phones or I'm going
Pay
to call a
attention.
manager or something.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff that keeps people sane. Is find a thing that you enjoy that's not that toxic crap. Because you know it is. I mean, don't just watch movies all day every day, but because then you'll be really poor.
That kind of was what I was doing in film school.
Yeah.
I was pulling like shifts for
Yeah, you told me
movies.
you're like, I watch
Like,
5 movies a day.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy.
It was a fun time.
Yeah.
Cannot do that anymore.
I remember there were a few times in my life we'd pay for one movie and then once the movie got over, we would just sneak into the next movie. Just watch like 3 movies that day. That's not really supporting the film industry, but that was a fun thing. That was an exciting thing that we did. If it was like a matinee, like it wasn't busy. Do stuff like that.
Yeah. The theaters are fun. We could go do that more.
Yeah.
We'll go to the Alamo.
Yeah. The Alamo.
Or AMC. We live pretty close to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think that this place was like, I thought it was like on the other side of town. It's like down the street.
That's what I thought too. I forgot it was here.
It's cool. It made me really happy. I was like, oh, I don't have to drive all the way over to
Yeah.
to Lakewood or whatever. But yeah. What else you got?
I don't know. That might be it.
End it with a bang. You got a joke?
I don't have any.
That's what you should put. You
jokes.
should put like a trivia at the end of these.
What do you mean?
Do a trivia. Do a trivia.
A trivia question?
Oh, man, I wish this is like the one time I wish Carson was here. Because Carson has like, it's good trivia, but it's like dumb. Like that's like how he gets in with girls. Like tell him a trivia question. His favorite thing. I'm gonna tell the world right now. The way that he starts off a conversation with the women, he's like, "What's your spirit vegetable?" He could probably tell you that, but it always works. It works every single time.
Right.
Because they're like, that's the weirdest question I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
What's your spirit vegetable? So, not really a joke or a trivia.
That's what you're going to leave the audience with?
Yeah.
Ask them
what's your spirit vegetable?
I don't know what mine
Food
is.
for thought. No pun. I think I'm funny.
Anything else you want to leave the audience with?
Man, talk to your family, everybody. It's nice. That's really all I got.
Well, thank you so much for being on the episode. I appreciate you being here with me today. It was very interesting to hear your perspective on things.
I'd be open to doing this again. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video.